Happy 25 episode. Why'd you turn it off? How you know if it's recording or not now? I don't know what's going on. Can you turn it back on, please?
You don't need to know what's going on.
I do need to
No,
know
you
what's
don't.
going on. I do. It helps. All right, it helps with the continuity of this. I didn't say that word right. It wasn't continuity. It's supposed to be
Thanks on the beat, make it boom.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Let's Talk About It. As always, I'm Alan Ford.
I'm Will Hill.
And today's documentary is located on HBO MAx. It is called Milestone Generation, and it is about Milestone Media, the first all-black comic book creators. Yes, and they created all-black comic book superheroes. They are most known for the people who know Static Shock.
They weren't the first, though. There was always little pockets of groups of black people trying to break in.
Well, the first black comic book outlet, mainstream comic book outlet. Yes. I think they were, technically. There wasn't that many black superheroes back then.
They were few and far in between, and
Yes.
they pretty much never was the lead.
Yeah.
All right, so they never had like their own running series, and it was very much exactly what you think it was when it would come to cartoons and making black people not look intelligent.
And they were DC affiliated.
Yeah.
They were DC affiliated, so they're not with Black Panther. Not with that.
Right.
Black Panther's Marvel. They were DC affiliated.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And how it started with Dennis Conway.
Mm-hmm.
I pronounce that Dennis Conway, his co-founder, along with Dwayne McDuffie. R.I.P. Dwayne, by the way. They brought it to the light of that at that time, 1989, 1988. There wasn't that many black superheroes.
They started off in the 70s.
Yes.
This doc.
Well,
they start talking about the whole comic book era,
Right.
like in the 70s.
Yes.
And how every hero you saw was white. Right. It wasn't much room for representation at all. Like I said, only black people that you saw was the criminals. They were making them bad, like the bad guy, or the little mammy looking ones. You know what I'm saying? With the big oversized lips.
That type of person right there.
Yeah,
and Wonder Woman had a black sister.
Nubia.
Wonder Woman had all the Amazons, they technically sisters. But this one was a sister.
No, that was some of the people trying to put representation into the comic book world, and that was one of the ways they was able to slide someone of color in there.
Right.
They had to make, again, the background just awesome off the wall stuff in the back. Wonder Woman got a black sister.
Out of nowhere, I didn't even know that until I watched the documentary. It's like
they just threw that in there real quick.
that was the black sister.
Yeah, but it was black people in the field of comics. So every now and again, a group would get together and try, but no major production houses would pick it up.
And they were, like you said, don't go over they were created off of mid stereotype stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like it wasn't really, and then Milestone Media, actually not only black people, they had Asian, Hispanic, gay.
Yeah, the whole
they
flag,
they covered
every shade, every color.
They covered everything.
Yeah.
And it came at a very important time. But how it got started, Dwayne Conway was writing with one of his writers, Sammy Ham.
Is it? Yeah.
Yes, and Sammy Ham, and they were working on it. They were just working at DC, and then next thing you know, Sammy Ham told him to listen to what's the Public Enemy.
Public Enemy.
Yeah, told him to listen to Public Enemy. And he was like, Sammy Ham's one of the whitest people here. Why are you telling me to listen to Public Enemy? And he played the cassette tape. Yes, a cassette tape. This is in 1989 when he first started working on 1989, and then he played that whole cassette tape, that whole album at the time. the whole you know how angry you are after listening to fucking
It's like watching Roots and then looking at your white teacher.
Yeah, it's like watching Roots backwards.
Backwards?
No, backwards, yeah. Well, is it backwards? No, not backwards.
What are you talking about?
I'm just talking, man. I ain't smoking. We are all over the place right now. No, but in 1989, he listened to it. That's how he came up with the idea of the different superheroes. And then so he goes to, the same year, he goes to San Diego Comic-Con where he runs into Dwayne McDuffie.
Well, what necessarily he didn't run into.
They knew they were there.
Yeah, it was a spot where he knew he was gonna find a lot of black creators he could ask to.
Crazy thing about that, cell phones wasn't invented in 1989.
Yeah.
How he call them? He said he called them.
I'm pretty sure they had phones at the booths.
Huh?
You got to have some way to communicate in there. You know what I'm saying? Pager.
Yep. Oh, yep. There it is. I forgot about those. Pagers was a thing.
Yeah.
I forgot about those. Yeah. So they do that. They it's kind of hard to start a business, but you need somebody to fund it. Mm-hmm. They need a business partner, somebody to know about business, because Dwayne knows about writing.
No, I like how
Dennis knows about drawing.
When he was doing the recruiting, it was all like in secret.
Yeah, nobody knew they were doing that.
He was running around talking to people and just trying to see who was all on board. And everybody pretty much that he went to was on board.
Yeah, let's just show you. Moving in silence works way better.
Yeah.
Works way better. Yeah, so they did that. And then they needed somebody to help fund it, the business part of it. And then they came up to Derrick Dingle.
Grow up.
Oh, man. If his name was like Dingleberg, I would have lost.
Dingleberg.
No, but Derrick Dingle, who ran Black Enterprise. The magazine Black Enterprise. Black Enterprise still a thing?
I don't know. Let me see. Keep talking.
I haven't bought a magazine in forever.
It's like buying a cassette.
I know Jet Magazine's still a thing. I saw one in Walmart. Looked at the Jet Beauty of the Week.
Stop.
I did. That's all I went to. I mean, who else? Come on now.
All right.
Yeah, Derrick Dingle, Black Enterprise, and Derrick Dingle brought the business side to it. And then pretty much they filling out the staff. I don't really remember everybody in the staff because it was so many, but was the cool part about their staff is it's like they were bringing people that they knew off the street, pretty much. That's what they said.
It was a come up story. Yeah. Like everybody that they knew who were trying to break in, here's an opportunity.
Right. And they were able to express different ideas. They took everybody's idea. Everybody had different sketches. So it was like a very easy work environment, a very simple work environment.
They didn't really talk about the work environment.
They did. They said how it was. They said like it was simple. You can bring an idea to Dwayne.
Yeah, there was no hierarchy.
Yeah, there was no hierarchy.
Right.
Yeah,
so like
simple,
no matter if you was just a simple animator, if you had a good idea, come do it.
No egos, and that's a good work environment when there's no egos. That's a real good work environment. And so they came up with the idea of calling the business Milestone Media, and it started around the time I want to say 1991, 1992.
Right.
Around the time the Rodney King stuff, all that, black people in the press, hip hop music, letting everybody know, and then Static Shock. So they came up with Static Shock, Hardware, Icon, Rocket, and all four of them together made the Blood Syndicate.
This is they first characters that got released, basically.
Yes. Describe the superpowers of each one. Static Shock, teenage black kid. Well, the name is kind of self-explanatory. What Static Shock was. He was electric powers, could fly.
I think Static Shock obviously is the more infamous.
That's gonna be a dope movie. That's gonna be a dope movie. Yeah, the right person to play him though. Well, they can't do a Static Shock movie and not do a Miles Morales movie.
Well, why not?
You got to do both. I want to see Miles Morales first before Static Shock. But Static Shock seems like that's gonna come first. Which one do you think will come first?
See, I don't think they need a Miles Morales.
Why?
For what? First of all, that's DC and Marvel. But
yeah.
I don't think that's not what we're talking about here.
I know it's not. Okay. I'm just saying that's the same thing, black superheroes, but okay. But so Milestone also, they need somebody to help publish it. They were under DC, and they still are under DC technically. Technically, they were under DC. This is the first time because they had to come back the second time, but we are jump shit. Hardware obviously was a.
So obviously, it's not obvious.
Hardware's kind of hard to explain.
No, he was like Tony Stark.
Yeah, he was the man in the machine. So he was Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. I had a hard time understanding what he was.
Yeah, he was a Iron Man basically.
Yes. Oh, before I forget this, Black Lightning was the first black superhero.
That they did Black Lightning?
DC is. DC did.
On his own.
On his own. So Black Lightning at the time, this comic was kind of messed up because he take the mask off, and the afro was connected
That was funny.
to the mask.
That was funny.
He like take it off, like, well, I'm not black.
Oh, he called it code switching.
Yeah, code switch like he put it on. Listen here, you jive turkeys. Can't be doing that. Black lighting. Okay. So we got hardware. Icon said, what was Icon's superpower?
He was a Martian. He kind of was like a Superman. He was from another planet.
Oh, okay, all right. Rocket.
I don't know Rocket.
Yeah, Rocket was. She's not the. I couldn't explain her super. They didn't really explain Rocket's superpower. Like,
there's no need. We're not talking about the characters. We're talking about the people.
I know, but we're talking about what the ideas of what they did in the documentary. It's only a 54-minute documentary, which
that was nice.
I love that.
That's
that was
nice
right there. That was real nice. This is quick and simple.
Hey, tell anybody listen to make a documentary. 54 minutes.
30 minutes would even be better.
No. I think a solid hour is
a good documentary.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Nothing more than 60. I'm talking about done, credits, all that finished at 60.
Okay. Since we go by the number of issues that were produced.
Which one had the longest production run?
Hardware. Hardware had 50 issues. Who do you think was second?
Static.
45. Who do you think was third?
Icon.
42. Who do you think had the fourth most? Rocket actually didn't have that many.
Blood Syndicate?
Blood Syndicate, yep. 35 issues of Blood Syndicate. That's what that was. But, they did this during the time. And then, this is where things get chippy, you know? White people didn't really like the black stuff.
They had a good product. They sold it, right? DC bought it.
All over the place.
And you would think this is done, right? This is a done deal. It was not. They still have to fight through adversity. You kind of get to the mountaintop just to realize you're at the smallest peak. You're like, I still got to fight to get to the top. They were not putting like some of the ideas straight through. Some white people were sabotaging them by not ordering enough copies to go places, doing smaller runs on their books, so they didn't
putting disclosures in comic books is unnecessary. By the way,
I don't know.
Well, because they had a problem with the cover of Static Shock losing his virginity.
Yeah, I was trying to go in a progression here.
To that, you was building up to that? Okay, go ahead. What was you building up to that?
I forgot where I was.
You forgot where you were?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But, they do that. And like everything DC does, they ruin it. Unless it's Batman or Superman, to be honest with you. Or Aquaman, I finally watched Aquaman.
I've never watched it.
It's pretty good.
I don't plan on it.
But DC ruins stuff. They put a disclaimer in the thing and all that. Can we get to that part?
Yeah.
Or you still want to build?
No, go ahead.
Okay, cool. We put the disclaimer in the issue of Static Shock losing his virginity because on the original cover they had Static Shock kissing
I remember.
Girl. Yeah. What was it?
No, it was talking about how the white people were sabotaging him.
Yeah. Okay. There we
go. Not giving enough books. Not giving enough. Then the comic book stores wouldn't put their posters up.
Right. Yes.
They had their comic books like way in the back, like in its own little section.
Right. They I think when they promoted them, they didn't have their faces on. They had question marks.
Right. Because they didn't want people to see that they was black.
Yes, that's kind of how it was back in the day with music artists.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Like the Temptations and them, they had put not the Temptations. I think it was the Temptations. They had to put white people on the cover so they could sell it. You laughing? That's a real thing. They really did that.
I understand.
That's a history lesson for you. There you go, man. They had to do that. That's how they got radio plays and all that stuff.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they did that. Can I talk about the cover?
Yes.
Okay. So leading up to that, with the disclaimer in the comic, they changed the cover of Static Shock losing his virginity because they had Static on the couch kissing a girl, and condoms were everywhere. And he had a lot.
It was not everywhere. It was in one spot on the floor.
He had some in his hand and then some on the floor.
No. That was two different pictures.
Not the same picture.
No, it was not.
That was the same cover.
No, it was not.
That was the same cover. Look it up. That was the same cover. He had a lot, though. It was like, damn, Static, how much fuck are you trying to do? But he losing his virginity. Will looking at it while Will looks it up right now. And gets proven. Are they even gonna have the original cover on there?
Let me see.
But they changed the cover and just made it Static kissing a girl in a heart. That's all it was. They changed it, and of course Dwayne McDuffie didn't like that because at the same time, if you're creating something and you in your contract,
just put out what I put there.
Yeah, just you
quit censoring.
You changing my word, my art. This is how I express myself. This is what's going on in the world. Why would you want to change that without us knowing?
Ridiculous.
And then have a problem with it. And then that was like everything just went downhill from there. And this was in the early 90s. I think by 96, they were kind of 96. Milestone Media closed their doors pretty much.
Yeah, they had extreme budget cuts.
Yes, they had because then DC wasn't giving them their advance.
Mm-hmm. So they had to fund it out of pocket. They had to
fund it out of pocket, and then they started to lose money because they had to fund it themselves, and then it was hard to publish it as well.
Right.
When you fund it yourself. So they had to close their doors. And so next thing you know, Dennis Cohen, he goes to Hollywood. He's doing different stuff. Dwayne McDuffie is, I think they say he was in Florida?
At the time.
Did you find a picture?
No. I can't find it. No.
You got to watch the doc to find it. And at the time, he was in Florida. And then Dennis told him, hey, why don't you come to L.A.? Come to Hollywood. So he comes to Hollywood. Milestone Media comes back because they're all like, man, we started this. Why don't we bring it back?
Right.
Comes back. 2000, it comes back. Static Shock is a cartoon show. Probably one of the best superhero cartoon shows.
Oh, yeah.
Downtown. They touched on everything. And they could touch on everything during the cartoon show because it was the episode where Static's best friend dad was racist to Static.
Yeah.
Yeah. They covered everything on that. Static wanted to have. They had Icon in the show. Icon was on the episode.
Right.
Icon was on the episode. They just had a bunch. It was a great show. And then
it was well written.
Well written.
It kept with the times, and like for a lot of people, what Milestone was also trying to do is have that relatability.
Right.
The one they had mentioned a comic earlier, a comic book, and he was like, I can't relate to that guy. Like, he's successful, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, you can't relate to Superman or Batman. You can't relate to them.
Yeah, no, it's a thing, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah, and so Static, and then 20 years later, they seem to always come back when it's controversy, when it's like the world needs it.
Right, that's how Static, right? Because he first on the cartoon run, how did he get his powers? He was doing something.
Something he wasn't supposed to do?
Is that what happened?
I think so. I can't remember the first episode of the cartoon.
No,
I can't remember how he got his powers.
They brought him back. He was in the George Floyd.
Yeah, they brought George Floyd and the whole police, and because this one was about protests. Like now, the comics are mainly about protests and police brutality.
Oh, so if I'm not mistaken, I think the first time Static got his powers, it was the riots.
Right. Yeah, it was about the riots and all that stuff. And this one was about protests and everything. So that's pretty much sums up this whole episode.
Did you notice in this thing they played music the entire time?
They did. They did not take a break from playing any music.
Played the entire time.
A lot. What the hell is the name of that group? Public Enemy. There it is. A lot of Public Enemy.
Yeah, they name dropped them. So
yeah, I mean, they only play Fight the Power. You can't play that whole Public Enemy album.
Bro, it was music the whole entire time.
No, there was no quiet moment.
Why?
Method Man was the narrator for this.
Well, he was the executive producer.
I didn't even see his name as that. I didn't see none of the titles of who was executive producer.
I always look at that.
Oh, okay. Got to keep an eye on that. But
no,
nice
to me, I always look at it because the executive producer tell you if there are any implicit biases.
Okay.
All right. Like if it was a Nazi doc and everybody that's executive producer is Jewish, I'm like, well, you know the stance on that. You know what I'm saying? Like
he did actually a good job too. I had no problem with that.
Oh yeah, he great. He did
a good job, man.
When I first seen him, I was like, it's one of these where they just grab like famous people, you know. But it wasn't. It was
make Method Man play Bishop. I want to see Method Man play Bishop in the Marvel comics.
I can see it.
But DC dropped the ball on something early on, like they always do, and then they picked it right back up.
That's them.
Like they doing now. That's crazy. Like they doing now. They picking it right back up. Like nothing happened. It's like, oh hey, how are you? It's like, nah.
It's been a while.
Nah, come on, man. DC treat people like that Ets when you see them in the mall. Like, hey, like, bitch, I'm not saying hi to you. I know what you did to me.
All right, so what'd you rate it?
I'll give this a 5. It was very insightful. I did not know about it. I'm actually going to go and look at the comics and read them. And actually, I'm going to just binge watch Static Shock now.
I'll give it a 4.9.5.
What the hell was that?
4.9.
Why'd you swing your hair when you did that?
I turned my head.
Oh, okay. You said 4.9.5. That's what you did.
Yeah, no, it's pretty much a 5.
Okay.
Just the music the whole entire time.
Being difficult, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
In particular. Because you know me, I'm all about learning something new. I learned a lot, which there was like another comic I had like read about. I felt like, but this
off of Milestone?
No, like just another one. But no, very insightful. I learned a lot. I think I should watch it.
And we know Static Shock movie in development. That's gonna be fire.
Oh yeah,
who you think they would have play Static Shock?
I have not decided school. I feel like you gotta get somebody.
If you audition, would you do it? If they say, Will, you need to. Well, actually, you don't need to lose weight because then they got CGI. You can do CGI. Would you do it?
No.
You wouldn't do it. You wouldn't play Static Shock.
No.
If they ask you, hey, can you play Static Shock? What about his dad?
I'll play his dad.
I'll play Static Shock. But I guess I need hair for that. Nope. Get it wrong. Static Shock didn't have hair when he first started. He don't have hair now in the comics. He wears a hat.
His braids, boy.
He wears a Malcolm. Oh, damn, he do get braids. Early on, he didn't have hair, so I have to be the 1990 Static Shock.
I ain't seen that one.
He wore the Malcolm X hat the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
Or as Waldo would say, the Malcolm 10 hat. I was watching Family Matters. Yes. So, all right, that concludes this episode. Let's talk about it. Always follow us at Let's Talk About It on YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok, and like us on Instagram. Follow us on Instagram, LDAI Pod 22. Follow me at social media at For the Comedy on all social media.
You can follow me on all social media, simply just Will, and we out. Hey, let us know which docs y'all watching.
Always,
so we can review it. Always.
Don't be putting hateful comics on it either.
Who put hateful comics on it?
I'll show you. Turn off the camera.
It's on the beat, make it boom.